What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 17 of our fairy tale reviews. And yes, I'm wearing a Chicago Bears hat with a flannel shirt. I don't care. My hair is all sorts of effed up. I look like a clown, so that's why I'm wearing the hat. So, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button down below so you can be in the loop of what's going on with the channel. Share it to your mama. Share it to your mama's real estate broker. Share it to everybody you know. And follow me on Twitter at @OneKoalaMan. Hopefully it'll be in the description down below. I gotta start remembering that because, you know, my memory is not the best in the world. And I believe that's it. So, let's get this mother underway. Alright, so we begin today's episode off in the cavern where Deliora is being resurrected, in other words. So, he's, you know, doing his darn thing. I don't know if it's a he or she. I'll just say he, because it looks like a he. It'd be pretty nasty if it was a she. But, hey, that's Deliora's call. But anyways, Deliora is getting thawed out. He's screaming like crazy, and he is ready to destroy everything. The whole island is shaking. Everything around the island is shaking. Waves are starting to spurge out of control. It is ridiculous. And the rest of the squad, because Natsu and Gray are in the cavern, so the rest of the squad has to figure out what to do. So I guess the next best thing for them is to stop whoever's doing the moon drip ceremony. And Toby, the loser dog thing, is doing the moon drip ceremony. So Urza, Lucy, and Happy, aka the rest of the squad, go up to the top of the temple and do their thing, while Natsu is actually fighting Zalti. And we finally learn what Zalti's magic is. And Zalti explains that he can, like, bring stuff back in time to, like, a past state. It's called the Arc of Time magic. And it's one of the lost magics. It's very rare and very powerful. Very powerful. So he, like, demonstrates it by shooting this orb, like this crystal orb, at Natsu. Natsu, of course, breaks it. And Zalti, like, you know, with a flick of the wrist, he... He brings the chunks back together into the orb. He starts beating up on Natsu, and then Natsu, you know, gets his energy boost. He punches the heck out of Zalti. Zalti's down for the count. And Urza, on the other hand, defeats Toby. One fell swoop of her sword. Boom, bam, in the shazam. Toby's done. Zalti's done. Moon drip ceremony's done. But it was just barely too late, and Deliora is completely free of the iced shell. So Deliora is all ready to go, and Leon is crawling into the cavern from wherever him and Gray just got done fighting, and he is still intent on fighting Deliora. And Natsu's saying, "You could barely even stand. How can you defeat this giant demon?" And I respect, you know, Leon's heart, you know, trying to do this, because he's been working, what, for 3 years trying to do this? And so I guess he just doesn't want it to go to waste. I mean, I wouldn't want it to go to waste. And he doesn't either, so he finally, you know, stands up, and Gray, like, boom, just judo chops Leon in the back of the neck, knocks him out, and Gray figures out that he has to do iced shell. And so he gets into position, and he starts yelling out ice shell, and Natsu steps in again, but literally steps in right in front of him, right in front of Gray, and in front of Deliora. And so he says, "Go ahead and do the ice shell, but I'm not moving." And at the same time this is happening, Leon gets a flashback of when he was a kid looking for the strongest wizard. And people say that Ur is the strongest wizard of these parts back, you know, when he was a kid. And apparently, Ur lost her daughter. I don't know how she lost her daughter. I don't know if she got killed, if she got kidnapped. I don't know what happened. So I really hope we find out what, you know, what's happened to her daughter. So back to Deliora and Natsu, and apparently Gray cuts off the ice shell, and Deliora just, you know, tries to wail on Natsu. And Natsu, you know, fires back with a fiery punch of sorts. And they connect fists. And the craziest thing, Deliora starts cracking. And I'm like, Oh my gosh. Did Natsu just beat a giant destructive demon with one punch? And yes, he did. Because Deliora cracks all the way up and it just vanishes. It disintegrates. But we find out that in the 3 years, or 10 years, because 10 years ago Urs, froze Deliora into the ice shell. We find out that Ur was slowly depleting Deliora's life force while it was in the shell, the ice shell. And so, over the 10 years, Deliora's been getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And this last moment was Deliora's last dying breath. And Natsu was fortunate enough to be that demon's last, final breath. So kudos to friggin' Natsu, and he was like, wow, I'm stronger than I thought. So again, kudos to Natsu on that. So now Deliora is finally defeated, and Gray and Leon are, I guess kind of cool with each other, no pun intended, because they use ice magic. But anyways, they're not perfectly fine with each other, like nothing ever happened, but they're not fighting, so that's good. So everybody's grouped up together, and like the squad and Leon are grouped up together, and Leon was saying that after the 3 years that he's been there, he has never seen the villagers, like ever, in the whole 3 years. So all he knew was that there was a village somewhere on the island, but none of the villagers ever came. And he says they're holding a secret. They have a secret that they're not, telling you guys. So I don't know what this secret could be, and I don't know why the villagers wouldn't go to the temple or anything. So the squad goes back to the village, or back to the camp that the villagers were at, and one of the villagers comes and says, come on, we gotta go back to the village, and it's back to normal. So Natsu was explaining that, it's like it went back in time or something, so maybe Zalti had something to do with it, but I don't know. I don't know why Zalti would do something like that. I have no idea, honestly. And so Urza ends up interrogating, I guess. She ends up interrogating the village, not in a bad way or anything, like a good cop, bad cop. She's just, asking questions. She's, reviewing the facts, and she's walking around, and she steps in. She steps in the pit that Lucy made 3 episodes back, and she actually falls into it. She screams like a little girl when she goes in. And, oh, I can't believe Urza, this amazing warrior, fell for something simple as a pit trap. I thought it was super funny. And then she got out and she acted like nothing happened at all. And the villagers were actually explaining that they, over the past 3 years, they actually have sent people, but every time they get close to the temple, they just end up back at the village. So I don't know what the heck was up with that, honestly. I don't know how that worked out. And they just couldn't. So Urza's saying, okay, so we'll turn you back to your normal form. So that means we gotta destroy the moon. And she's like, Natsu, I need your help for the moon. And Natsu's all super excited. So Urza and Natsu are gonna destroy the moon. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but Urza equips into this new armor, and she's getting ready, and that pretty much ends that episode off with her walking down with Natsu, getting ready to destroy the moon. Alright guys, you already know I don't like to end off the episodes without a question of the day. So today's question of the day is kind of a generic question. Who is your least favorite character of Fairy Tail up to this point? Because I know there's a lot more characters, later on in the anime, but up to this point, who is your least favorite? And if you want to, you can say why. I'm not really gonna say why. Well, yeah, I will. So my least favorite up to this point is probably Zalti, because he's a freaking weirdo. He's wearing girls' perfume. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, I don't know what he does in his night job. I don't know. That's all him. More power to him on that. He's just weird, man. I don't know. Zalti's just a freaking weirdo, honestly. But that's who my least favorite character is. Let me know your least favorite character down in the comments below. And as always, guys, keep it cool.